Hey,
What's up,
there
man?
you are. There you are. I missed that big face, you know?
Yeah, you know what? I miss you too, man. It's always good to see you. You know
Yeah,
that.
always. Well, we're here, episode 2, under the circumstances, obviously, right?
Yeah, you
But
know how
Bones,
it is.
I got all dressed up, and you,
Yeah, so did I.
yeah, you got dressed, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. We're here, episode 2. You know,
Yeah.
It's funny because when our episode 1 was in post, and our producer was editing it,
yeah,
we were having dinner, and Genevieve said, "Oh, are you guys? Is it audio only, or can we see you guys? Like, because it's funny." And I go, "Well, we'll see in the future, but for right now, it's gonna be audio only." And my dad, he's got to be funny, you know. He goes, he goes, "Well, that's good, you're doing audio only because you got a face for podcasting." That's what he said to me. Can you believe that? And we're here, episode 2. So Martin Cheung, joke's on you, Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. It's crazy because last week when we recorded the first episode,
Yeah.
do you remember what I told you? I said,
No.
when we had our big release and you posted the pics of me and Paolo in
Yeah,
the garage. And I said, fast forward 3-4 years from now, we're going to be in a studio.
yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan style.
We always use Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's going to be on our show. We're not even going to be on his show.
Yeah.
He's not,
Yeah.
And then do you remember what I asked you? I said, Bones, when they make the movie out of us, do you want to play yourself? You opted for Jonah Hill, which is your prerogative, obviously.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't going to be me, I think it would definitely have to be Jonah Hill, 100%.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, he's great, Well, let me tell you what happened last night. So we're having dinner. We had dinner. It was like 5-6 o'clock, maybe.
Okay.
Whatever happens, the night goes on. Me and my dad are watching a movie, and now it's like 12:30 at night. I'm getting hungry, right? Bones.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry. Okay. So I go in. I'm going to tell my mom, who's in the kitchen. I'm going to tell my mom, I'm hungry, right? So I go into the kitchen. I walk around this lady's got a box of pasta boiling, steaks frying on the stove, and cookies in the oven, Bones. You know how it is. I go, Bones, this is why I said to her, I go, Ma, you're the best. Okay? It was hilarious.
That's crazy time.
Yeah. How was work today, huh?
It was good. Listen, before I get into that, I just want to say to everybody listening or watching now, I just want to say thank you for everybody who listened to the first episode.
Yeah.
We had a really good first release, and I think I was pretty happy about how it went. We've got a bunch of views and a bunch of follows on the Instagram, and it's going pretty well. So I just want to thank everybody for listening on the first episode.
Yeah, we love you guys. Love our fan base,
Yeah, but getting to about work, I had a good day at work today.
Yeah.
So usually how it works, actually. So it's funny you ask. So usually how it works is like.
Well, tell everyone where you work. Not everyone knows,
Yeah. Okay. So I work at FedEx. I'm a part-time driver. I deliver packages.
He's the guy. He's an essential worker,
I'm an essential worker. Yeah. So, but anyways, usually how it works is we only get one route, right?
Right.
So today I went in and they're like, "Oh, like you're going to do 2 routes. Is that okay?" And I said, "Well, yeah, of course." Right. Like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, okay. Like, one of the routes is a little bit smaller. It's kind of out of town. So just give a look at it and, kind of let us know if you're okay to do it." I'm like, "Okay, sure." So, I'm looking at it, and the first route that I was in Milton. I've been to Milton before. It's, whatever. The second one, it had towns like Grand Valley, like just some terracotta.
None of it, or?
Yeah, it was crazy. Inglewood, Ontario, places I've never heard of.
Yeah.
So I guess why I'm telling you this would be to anyone who's listening. If you have ever heard of any of the places I just listed off, you can decide what we talk about.
I think I've heard of a couple of those places, actually, Are
you kidding me? I've never heard of any. Okay, well, thanks for ruining my story. I guess you get to decide what we talk about on the next episode.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
As per usual, you know?
Yeah.
How much do you make at work?
You know, I don't think I'm going to disclose that information.
Yeah. You know, me neither.
I don't think I'm going to. Well, I didn't ask you, so you wouldn't have to disclose that.
Do you get paid bi-weekly?
I get paid weekly.
Oh, you get paid weekly. When you get paid weekly.
Yeah.
How much is the check that you get paid?
Once again, I will not be disclosing that information.
I can't take credit for that joke. I saw it on some podcast somewhere. I can't take credit for that one, but yeah. What should we get into some topics for this week again?
I guess so. Yeah.
Some of our viewers sent in a couple more great questions we're going to talk about today. We didn't get to all of them last week, so we got to finish those up. Here, I think I got the first question here, actually.
Yeah, perfect. Let's hear it, man.
Hold on. It's okay. How much does Julian Bonello make at work? That's the first question.
Let me guess. I want to take a guess.
I keep riding this joke out, eh?
I'm going to take a guess at who sent it in. I'm going to say this man goes by the name of Joseph.
Stop calling me by my middle name.
Stop asking me that question.
Stop. Okay. Paolo, we should Paolo, what's the our first topic on this episode 2?
Of course, the first topic for this week is the most you've ever laughed.
Oh, how are we gonna? We could do an entire podcast that we could do on that.
I know. I think I could do an entire 10 episodes just based on stories from high school.
Okay, you were here too.
I hope so. We spent a lot of time together.
This was in 12th grade.
Yeah. Okay.
You had it was 4th period, and you had a supply teacher. No, you would spare 4th period, and I had a supply teacher, which friggin' basically a spare, right?
Yeah.
In grade 12,
basically.
And do you know what I'm gonna say?
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, I think you know exactly what I'm gonna talk about. So I had texted someone, and you were like, yeah, like we should go for gelato at Pronto Cafe, Keel and Rutherford.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. I kind of don't want to shout them out because it's kind of like our spot, you know?
Yeah. We're
there all summer.
You just screwed us over.
Yeah.
It's out there now. It's too
late.
Anyways,
yeah, I think you texted me now that I think about it, and you go, yeah, we should, does anyone want to go for gelato? And I'm like, you know what? I got a supply teacher. Look at me, freaking valedictorian. Paolo, I'm hosting myself right now. I'm skipping class, you know? But yeah, you texted me and I said, okay, meet me downstairs with the car in 5 minutes. So I remember I grabbed my bag and I asked the supply teacher to go to the washroom, and I meet you downstairs and we boot across Rutherford and we get to the Pronto, right?
Yeah.
And Frank, the owner, my dad went to school with Frank. He went to high school with Frank.
Yeah.
So he knows him. So this was one of I think it was the second summer we had really started going.
Yeah.
So I had been sometimes, and I had talked to Frank and his son a couple of times, but I didn't know him like 100% too well at this point.
Yeah.
So we get there, the two of us, and because it's like Bones, well, it's got to be like 2:00 at this point, like school's still on, right?
Yeah.
So it's not super busy. So it's just the two of us and Frank's in there, right? So I go, hey, Frank. And it was the first time we'd gone that summer. I go, hey, Frank, how's it going? Yeah. Excited for the summer to start. We're going to start coming a lot. Hey, how's your, I go,
I know exactly where this is going.
I go, Frank, how's your son? Josh. And he go, Paolo, this way he goes, it's David. Actually, I wasn't anywhere close. We're dying in the cafe. I was really, oh my gosh. I was so sure.
To everybody listening,
yeah,
like that is literally exactly how it happened.
Oh my gosh.
I've never I probably would have shared that story if you hadn't, because that was probably top 5 funniest things that's ever happened in my life.
Brutal. I was so sure. I was so sure as well.
No, it was brutal. Like the guy was just like, he's like, buddy, you're way off. Like you're out to space, buddy.
You're out to lunch right now.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
Yeah. That was that's always a highlight of the summer, you know?
Yeah, Gelato,
I think especially, yeah. And
honestly,
a bunch of our viewers or our listeners, well, viewers now, we take everyone there, you know?
Yeah. It's
like we started going to guys and the girlfriends started coming.
And then
everyone comes
and
now,
the brothers, the brothers.
Yeah.
We won't name drop, but
we won't name drop.
You know who you are.
Yeah. But yeah. Do you want to move on, or you have anything?
Yeah, we can move on. Honestly, I was thinking about it like just now, and I'm like, before you told the story, I was gonna tell that story.
Really?
Yeah, because I was trying to think about like grade 12, because a lot of crazy things happened in grade 12. A lot of crazy things happened in high school, but a lot of crazy things happened in grade 12. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, like what story can I tell of me and Sutton? I mean, we could tell the story about when we went to Reptilia and we got
which is the same day? Yeah, it was the same day.
So we went to so basically I might have been a different day actually, but we went to Gelato a different day. We skipped class again.
Yeah.
And basically we went to Reptilia and we told the guy that we were in we had science. We were in grade 12. We told him that we had a science class, and that just to screw them, right?
Around. Yeah.
And he's like, let me go grab you something. He's like, I think I'm gonna have something that your teacher's gonna love. Oh, okay. This guy brings out an exoskeleton of a tarantula.
Of like a loose breed of tarantula.
You have to imagine. Well, okay, before he brought out, so he brought out, it was basically like a whole tarantula, but it's just the outside, like the shell of the tarantula.
Yeah.
But before he did that, he went and brought a snake out. And so why don't you hold the snake? I said, I'm good actually, but I'm sure my friend Sutton here would love to.
Which I did, but I did it anyway. Yeah.
So anyways, we left that place with about 30 discount cards and reptilia
that's crazy.
And a tarantula shedding, like the skin.
Yeah, exoskeleton.
That was. I mean, you guys might not laugh about that, but that's probably
that was a funny day. That was
a funny day because we did nothing with the tarantula skin. We put it in the forest.
I know. But let's move on. I know we got Paolo, what's our next topic?
This one's especially for Bones, Mr. Thousands plus hours listened of music. What is the best year for music?
Best year for music?
Okay, hold on. Before we get started, okay?
There's a lot of good
years. Before we get started, because I know right away, everybody who's listening to this is going to say, oh my God, summer 2016, best year for music. I just want to lay something down for a second. This is a hot take. I think the only good thing that came out of summer 2016 music-wise was Drake. And that's it.
Bones!
Good thing that came out.
And that's it. Thanks.
That was the only good thing that came out in summer 2016.
Bones, you're gonna get us canceled the way you're talking.
You know what? We're called Stop the Cap. So.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna say. So what? Okay, I know one of my favorite years.
Okay, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I have a specific
one single. Yeah.
If we want to talk like I mean, you want to talk decades, we can talk like for me, the 90s, like, you have like Nirvana, you have Tupac.
I'm surprised that you didn't say the 60s. Cause I know we listened to a lot of,
definitely like it was kind of like early Elvis, I think was in the 60s. And you had a lot of like Paul Anka and stuff like that. But like the 90s is just iconic, like Nirvana, and Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Tupac, Whitney Houston, like
definitely.
There's just so many icons that came out of the 90s, and to discredit any of them would be a slap in the face. So
Well, I think that one of my favorite years was the year that Marshmello came out with Friends.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had listened to it like for so long, and like it started getting overplayed. Like I specifically remember being like here we go, every party this song again, right?
Yeah.
And then the climax is that we had gone to. Sorry, the cops are here, Bones. I might have to end
they're coming
this.
to get you. 911, open up.
The climax was.
Yeah, okay.
The climax is that we had gone to Val that year and Marshmello headline. Do you remember?
Oh, 2017.
Yeah,
summer 2017.
Crazy. Such a great time. Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
Which is, I didn't always love going to Val, and now that pandemic and everything, like I look back and say, like that was one of the best times. Both, and I went twice, right? That was
honestly,
both of those times were phenomenal times.
Yeah, for me, that was like, I don't want to be like, that was a dream come true.
Yeah,
I got to see Marshmello, I got to see Martin Garrix, I got to see Dubs, I got to see Nav, I got to see like so many amazing artists.
We had a really.
Yeah, that was insane.
In hindsight, thinking back, like, because I can't remember the last time I was around 10 people, let alone 10,000 people shoulder to shoulder in the middle of Downsview Park. You know what I mean?
I got
it. What a crazy time. And then my favorite is when it's nighttime and the fireworks start coming.
Oh my God. Well, the nightfall, I think, are you okay over there? Or is somebody getting arrested outside of your house?
It's crazy.
No, but it's crazy because I'll never forget day one when the sun started, because it was so hot that day. I thought I was gonna pass out.
Yeah.
I went to the nurse station or whatever, and I was like,
I remember people were just stealing ice in that.
Yeah, I'm like,
station.
oh, do you guys have like a bag? Like, I'm like, oh, I feel lightheaded. Do you guys have a bag of ice?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. I planted that shit right on my head.
Yeah.
And I just walked around with a bag of ice on my head. And when the night came, finally, when the sun started to go down, I think I just hit a different type of, like, I was in a trance. That day.
Yeah, and then the confetti, and then I don't know where do they get all that confetti? Like the sky's full of confetti, and it's just falling, and you're beside everyone. And it's crazy time.
I don't know.
What a phenomenal time,
Yeah, crazy. That's a good point.
Yeah. What, Paolo? We got any other topics, or should me and Bones just ramble on?
Should we just look at each other for the next 20 minutes?
Next topic is the best advice you've ever received.
Best advice you've ever received?
I think I know what I'm going to say.
Okay, say it. I'm going to think.
So I think the best advice I've ever received would probably be to just be yourself. And like, I know that's a very basic thing to say. Like, a lot of people are going to say, well, like, sure, everybody says that, but like, genuinely, like, if you know me as a person, if you really know me, like, you know that, like, I really don't care about what anybody has to say about me.
Yeah.
And I live my life according to how I want to live my life, and how I do me. Like, I do me at the end of the day. Always. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
And like, growing up, like, everyone's like, oh, like, like just be yourself, and like, you do you, whatever. Right. But honestly, I think that's probably the best advice I've ever received, just because going through high school, like, like,
exactly. Yeah.
You see so many people conform to the same idea of like, like, everybody does the same thing and they all listen to the same music. But like, when you really like think about it and you're like, wait, like, but why does everybody listen to the same music? Why does nobody like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, even more than that, in high school, it's a little bit different, because you're at that awkward age where it's not, you're not in grade school. You're not like innocent. You're becoming adult, right? Like, you're entering the next stage of your life. So there's a lot of pressure, but even more than people listening to music, like, you see a lot of people like kind of giving to a little bit of pressure of like,
100%
drugs. And I'm not saying like, I'm guilty of that as much as anyone else. Right.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. But it's all in hindsight. We're here. Right. You know?
100%. I get what you're saying. I just think, like I said, it's basic advice, but that's the best.
No, be yourself.
That's the best advice I've ever received. And
Yeah.
if you would ask me what's the best advice I'd ever given, I'd say the same thing. I tell everybody, live your own life. Like,
Just start, do your own thing, you know?
What about you?
Definitely. I think, sometimes the best advice is none at all. Sometimes, you're going through a hard thing and you don't necessarily need someone to tell you this is how it's going to go. Everything's going to get better. Sometimes the greatest advice someone can give you is just saying, hey, listen, how are you? And sitting down and listening to what you have to say and listening
I feel you.
Listening to your problems and stuff. And at the end, they just be like, they give you a hug and it's like, everything's going to be okay. Sometimes that, like, those moments are sometimes,
and
I don't think people ask enough, Bones. I don't think people ask enough, how are you? Because there's so many people who's got all.
And you know what the thing is too? I find a lot of people ask, how are you? But it's kind of
just
like
a figure of speech, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what? That's kind of the thing. That's the thing I love about you guys and all of our friends specifically.
Is
we've had a lot of moments like that where we've really sat down and, somebody's going through something. Let's all sit down and deal with it, talk about it, figure it out.
We've done that. The amount of times we've done that is
insane.
Over the years, right?
No, it's actually insane. Like anytime something comes up, like if we're hanging out, we sit down and we talk about it and we figure it out. And then it is what it is, right? We go forward from there.
Exactly.
So it's true. That's really good. That's probably.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of great advice we could.
There's definitely a lot of
great question. It's a great question. Whoever.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Paolo, let's.
Okay. Now for our last question of the day. How are you staying positive during the pandemic?
Wow,
that's a good question. So
okay, yeah.
I guess I'll kind of start off. So it's actually crazy that this came up because I was talking about this the other day with a friend. And this specific person, they've been like doing like yoga and like working out and, just kind of like vibing in a sense, I guess, chilling out. And I think honestly, like, well, for me, like how have I been getting through it? Like realistically, like I work every day, right? So it's a little bit different.
Right.
But I think generally like the best thing that I've done is literally like we play PS4 like every night. That's probably the best thing because
we don't get to see each other in real life, right?
For me, that's the best thing, right? Because we don't get to see each other, but to go online and play video games and talk to each other, like literally, like I tell everybody, like before the pandemic, like every Friday we were hanging out and playing poker or like whatever, right? So like the fact that we can't do it now, but we kind of still can on PlayStation is like, that's a big thing for me, like, especially like I work every day. I'm like, when I get home, I'm excited to like hop on PlayStation and be like, hey, like where are we dropping, boys?
Exactly. But even more than like separate the actual gaming aspect.
Yeah.
Just being in the party and like being able to listen to each other, right?
No, and it could be FaceTiming or even like, us doing this podcast, being able to sit down and look at you and talk to you is beyond, it's just insane, and it really does make a difference, to be honest.
This is great. How have I been staying positive? I've been thinking about this quite a bit, actually,
Yeah.
Actually, this has to do with the last question as well, the advice question. I remember after lockdown came and stuff, we had to cancel my birthday party. I was really bummed out about it, right?
God. Yeah, I remember that.
And I call and my grandmother called me and she said, and we were just talking, and I'm like, yeah, mama, like that's what I call it. Just bummed out about,
Yeah.
Because when this all started, we thought that, by November, 10, 11 months later, this is exactly.
End of the summer, the heat's going to kill it, and we're still here. So.
Exactly, and we're still here. So I'm on the phone with her, and she goes, I'm sorry that you're bummed out. And I'll never forget what she said. She goes, no matter how bad things may seem, something good will always come out of it. Right? Yeah. She said it to me, and I was like, you know what? There's people who are a lot worse off than me. The
100%.
Essential workers are frontline workers, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say. What we're going through, Bones. What we're going through right now. 2020. I know we're in 2021, but like for me, it feels like this is just an extended 2020. Like it's the same kind of thing, right? What we're going through, the period that we're going through right now, is literally history.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I guess what I'm trying to say is that has to do with what my grandmother said. I don't know if we're ever gonna get an opportunity. What I'm trying to say is the pandemic's been hard on all of us.
Yeah.
There's no question. That goes without asking, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're ever going to get a better opportunity to get closer to the ones that we love. Bones, because I don't know, when this all ends, we're going to be out we're going to be out making up for the time that we lost together. You know what I mean?
We're going to be making up time, all right.
Exactly. Seriously. But with that, I don't know if we're ever going to get I'm not going to get another opportunity to wake up in the morning, go to an hour Zoom class, go have breakfast that my mom cooked. My sister comes down because she's in class, and my dad, who's lucky enough to work from home, we get to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner all together. You know what I mean?
True.
We're not going to get opportunities to share each other's time like that.
No,
ever
you know
again.
what? Like,
you know what I
mean? Talking about that too, I was thinking about it the other day, right? And I guess I think about this a lot.
Yeah.
Is like, obviously, like I work every day, right? And I'm thinking about this the other day. Like, you know, my mom works from home 4 days a week. My dad works, whatever. Like everyone in my house is always doing something, but I'm always thinking to myself, like, and I think this is why I want, like, in the future, I don't want to have to work for somebody in the future. I want to be able to be my own boss and work on my own schedule, because I think the biggest thing for me, and I like I said, I think about it so much, is that, like, it's crazy. You know, it's like every day that passes by, it's like, it doesn't seem like it's only a day, right? It's only 24 hours in hindsight. But when you really think about it, it's like you like every day that goes by is time lost with the people that you love. And like, it's really deep. It's really something to think about.
Yeah.
But I think about it a lot, right? I think about, like, you know, every day I drive to work and I'm like, great. Like, I work every day this week, but like, it's 5 days that, like, I'm seeing my mom and my dad a lot less than I would have. And it's
I totally get it.
It's kind of depressing to think about it, you know, but I think, like you said, right, the time that you do have, and I think, you know, because of the pandemic, we've been able to kind of spend a lot more time with each other than we would have. It definitely kind of helps me, and I think it helps everybody kind of accept the idea that, you know, that's how it is, but at least we have the ability to get closer with, you know, the people that are around us, being our family and even our friends too. But
definitely,
I think it's definitely something it's something I think about a lot. And I think it's definitely something that a lot of people are going to think about after they listen to this. So
I love the way you put that. Let me finish with this.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is for the pandemic to be over and everything in our lives to get back to our high pace 20-year-old, you know, partying, this and that. And the last thing you want to do is look back and say, you know what, I should have spent a little more time with mom or dad, brothers.
100%.
So if
well, no, even like you said, right at the end of the pandemic, but even in 40, 50 years, I don't want to look back and say, you know, shit, I really wish I'd spent more time with my parents.
Definitely. Exactly.
I think that's why, like, I work a lot now, but I think as time goes on, I'm going to try and work a little bit less, because for me, it's a big deal. You know, it is a big deal. And it definitely makes a difference for me to see my parents every day, you know?
I totally get what you mean. Well, yeah, let me finish with this. Whoever's listening to this, and just listen to our message that we just gave, go give your mom or your dad, your brother, your sister, your grandparents, whoever you're living with, and your loved ones, give them a hug, show them some extra love,
Yeah, 100%.
This pandemic's been hard on all of us, and despite that, we have a great opportunity right in front of us to make the best of it. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bones, should we conclude? We want to thank everyone for listening.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. It was a great episode today. I had a great time recording and filming now with my great friend Sutton, who got all dressed up. He got all spickied up for this fantastic night over Zoom. No, I just want to thank everybody again for listening to the first episode and following us on Instagram. If you're not following us, it's stopthecap.pod. We have everything. Our whole link tree is there. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, whatever it is, it's all there. So definitely drop us a follow. But thank you for everybody that has followed and everyone that's listened in. And thank you for everyone that's listening to this episode as well.
Yeah, we'll see everyone next time. Love you guys.
Yeah, thanks guys. Later.
Okay.